Welcome to another update from the Failure Diaries, where I try to get rejected as many times as possible. And we've been getting rejected a lot over the last about 5-ish weeks since I last updated y'all on how the progress is this year. I wanted to get rejected over 1,000 times this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Caveat. Not sure. But I've already been rejected like a few dozen times at this point, so we're getting there. The last 5 weeks have been full with a lot of rejections, admittedly. There have been a lot of rejections and very few yeses or very few opportunities. Do you want to know what opportunities I do get? I want to talk about the rejections first, though, because that's why we're here. That's what we're here for. So some of the things that I applied for or asked about were playing opening acts for like a dozen or so smaller artists. They're larger than me, but they're not massively larger, and they're having little shows or slightly larger shows all over Austria and as well as in Bavaria. So that is a feasible area for me to play a gig. That was one of the things that I did, where I play to, and where it takes a lot of, especially this aspect, I think takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and research, because not only do you have to find the artists that work for your music genre and generally the area of that genre that you move in, possibly also a little bit lyrics wise, you also have to find out when are they where. Do you already have a support act? That's not always so easy to find out. And also, who are they represented by? Who can you write this email to? And over the course of this entire year, I've written probably like 25 emails like that already. And I've gotten very few replies back. I have gotten some back, but I've gotten very few back. I think the reason why I'm getting any back, because in the music industry, if you're contacting people like that you don't have a relationship with yet, the chances that you're going to get a reply are actually really, really small. Practically nothing. And I've actually gotten a few replies back, which is already kind of a win. Apparently, I am looking for the right people. And I've been rejected for a few, and also the time slots have kind of already passed where they would be looking for opening acts, so I'm counting this a rejection too. But I've been getting a few replies back, and the reason that I was rejected for all of those, where it wasn't just timing wise, was that they already were in talks with other opening acts at this point or had already selected one. And I've always been writing so far. I've always been writing months and months in advance. Like one of the artists that I inquired about, I only wrote to them like last week or maybe even this week. I'm filming this on a Wednesday. The concert that I was writing about was in like September, October, so still a really good way out. And the person who's managing this artist got back to me super quickly and was like, thank you for inquiring, and we're really glad that you wrote. But the artist already has an opening act selected for all the dates, the tour dates, where they are playing as their own act. Because it's still kind of a smaller artist, so they are playing dates to where they are the opening act. This information was not possible to find out online. Otherwise, I would have found it. I'm CIA level. In these regards, I'm really good at unearthing any information possible. But I'm really glad that I got some answers back where it wasn't like, no, we don't like you, or we don't like your music, or you're a small artist, so we don't want you supporting another small artist who's just a little bit bigger than you. It was so far always either a time thing or we already have somebody else. That makes me feel a little bit better about myself, honestly. Rejections can be tough. And even when they write these kinds of things, it sometimes does feel like, oh, what could I have done better to get this opportunity? But sometimes it's really just nothing to do with you, or even with your timing. Sometimes it's just that things are already set in motion. sometimes a really long time in advance, and you have no impact on that. Another thing I've been getting is some more rejections for putting my book, or my books now, because the second one just came out yesterday, putting them in libraries. I wrote quite a lot of emails earlier in the year, and I've been getting rejections for that ever since then. And honestly, at this point, I feel like all the libraries that I've written to and that have not replied back to me, I can count as a rejection now as well, because they're not going to be getting back to me anymore. It's been like 2 months. that has been a few rejections too this month, or over the course of the last like 5 weeks, or there have been a few incoming. The next one is radio stations. I have a new collaboration out, or somewhat new at this point, like 2.5 weeks old. A collaboration with a British producer and singer. And it's a really good song. And I've written to a lot of radio stations locally so far and asked them if they could play the song. And so far they've all been like, yeah, we're going to send it to the team that decides what songs get played. And if they choose your song to be played, they will get in contact with you to ask for the file. That was a few weeks ago. Yeah. Over 2 weeks ago at this point, because I reached out really quickly. Nobody's gotten back to me. It's a really good song. I think this one is actually totally radio worthy. Like, you can play the international radio anywhere. It wouldn't stand out among the mix of other pop, rock, and so forth. But they're not enjoying it that much, I guess. Or they just get so many submissions like that it's tough to get somebody to actually play you. I will be trying my luck with more indie stations. I have decided that I need to focus more on that still than I have been over the last year, which is how I got my first radio plays. Austrian radio stations just don't care. They don't care about small, or most of them. I'm sure there are one or another smaller station that does care about smaller artists or independent artists. The larger stations don't care. They don't care about independent artists, they don't care about small artists, they don't care about Austrian artists except for a few really big ones. They don't care. And I'm probably not going to be the one to make them care, except if I make it bigger slowly and help pull up other small artists with me. Because this is a problem in my country. The arts are, especially music, the smaller artists are just getting neglected left, right, and center and not getting the help they could be getting very easily. Because radio, this is a thing, radio is still very big in Austria. They're kind of dropping the ball with Gen Z and like everyone younger than Gen Z too. I'm Gen Z, by the way. Everyone who's kind of like older Gen Z and older than that, so like everyone born before 2000 maybe. We still listen to radio, especially like people in their 30s, 40s, 50s. They still listen to radio a lot. This is what we all grew up with. We grew up with things like Utre and Krone Hit and so forth. They could be doing more. They could be doing better for us, and they're not. I'm just gonna have to live with it and keep being persistent and maybe eventually finding a way to help other Austrian artists, small artists, gain a footing, because they deserve it too. We all deserve for our hard work to be appreciated at least a little bit. Austria is always like, oh, where are all those new good artists that are upcoming? They're not upcoming because you're not helping them in any way. In fact, you're actually standing in their way. So they move elsewhere and find their luck there. That's my little rant about Austria. Oh, yeah, so I've had a lot of rejections this month. Some of them have made me a little bit sad, but honestly, for the most part, I've been like, yeah, whatever. I've written so many emails. I've done so much stuff over the last few months that I've been getting rejected for that I'm like kind of starting to get really numb to it. I'm not taking it personally anymore either. It's just like, okay, whatever. On to the next one, I guess. There have been 2 things that I have not been rejected for this month, or one that I have not been rejected for and one that I was rejected for, but it's kind of a win. And I'll start with the one that was kind of rejected for, but that's a win. Because I did apply for an artist opening slot. They got back to me and said, actually, we don't have the budget for opening acts. This artist is not huge. They are larger than me, but they're not huge. But if you want, we can put you on the guest list for one of the dates that you mentioned wanting to open on. And I was like, yeah, please. So I get to be on the guest list and I get to attend a concert in my city. It's in my city, which is really fun. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. It is a rejection. I understand that not every small artist has the capabilities to have an opening act. I still thought I'd reach out because I know that some other artists her size have opening acts, but it's still fine. I actually kind of think this is a really cool opportunity. The second win, and this is a really big win, is that one library is accepting both of my books into their library. It is not a huge library, but they were like, yeah, that's awesome. Send us both your books, because my second book just got released and they sent this like a few weeks ago. They were like, send them both once the second one is out so we can all do it in one go. Tomorrow I am sending both my books. I still need to get packaging for it. Kind of forgot to do that. Tomorrow I'm sending both my books out to them, and this is my first library that I got my book into. I'm definitely going to be writing to some other smaller libraries now that I know that might work, to see if maybe somebody else wants it. The thing with libraries is, of course, the libraries are buying your books, but you're not going to make a big financial win from it. Like, it's not going to mean a lot of money for you. But there is the opportunity to get your book out there and in front of people's eyes, and that's what really matters. And that's one thing that I'm really grateful for. I am so happy that has paid off. Like, I've spent so much time writing emails about this, and one library is actually kind enough to accept my books and to support a small artist. I really appreciate that. What is the plan for the next 4 to 6 weeks, depending on when I have time to film the next update video and when I feel like I've collected enough rejections and hopefully some wins too. So the plan until that point is to ask as many bookstores, especially locally, but Austria wide, and especially smaller bookstores, ask them if they would be willing to stock my book. Possibly both my books, now that there's two, but especially the newer one. Just ask. The worst case scenario is they say no. We've had that dozens of times this year already. 1 or 2 more no are not going to change anything. I will also be looking for more opening act slots that I could possibly play locally and all across Austria and in Bavaria to see if anybody wants to give me a chance. The thing is, with performance, I just need one person to give me a chance. I just need to have that one performance where I can then afterwards reference back to it and be like, yeah, I've already performed for this. And then it opens doors. Multiple doors. But until I get that one opportunity, I just have to keep trying. I'm also looking into creating my own opportunities, of course, on top of that. But you often need the help of somebody who's a little bit larger of an artist to step up. And that is kind of what I need right now. I'm also considering asking a fellow artist if she would like to collab with me. I think our music could sound really, really good together. So that is one thing I've been wanting to do all this year, but I've been pushing off because I'm like, but what if she says no? What if she doesn't feel like our music meshes well enough? What if she doesn't trust me to actually produce the music? Again, at this point, I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna have to ask. The worst thing she could do is say no. And the last thing that I have planned is I have a new single coming out in 1.5 weeks. I want to ask people to make videos with it. I will ask everyone across my social media platforms. I do have a few people that follow me by now. Just I need to get people to actually listen to my music, but I need more reach for that. It's so difficult, and I want that to happen organically because I feel like this song is something that a lot of people can possibly relate to. It's about not being listened to by doctors and just generally not being listened to and nobody really actually caring. And I feel so many people, especially so many women, know this feeling so well. Almost all of us have had an instance where this has happened. Many of us who are chronically ill or have chronic pain have had that a significant amount of our lives. It could get a ball rolling. Once people start creating videos with my songs, it's only a matter of time before other people discover my songs and jump on the trend and start listening to my other music. I do have a good bit of back catalog by now, and that does help me. Those are my goals for this next month-ish, month and a half. And obviously also keep applying to new radio stations, maybe ask some more libraries to carry my book. I will see how much time I have and how much I can get done. I think good things are coming. Because I'm putting out the right energy. I am like, I want it, I'm ready, I work hard for it. Somebody just needs to give me a chance. That's all it takes. And I'm getting a chance with my books in the library now. That's amazing. It's amazing. I love that. I hope I have some really cool updates like this next month too. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye!